Well, let's hear from the left of French politics. Nathalie Oziol is an MP from La France Insoumise, or France Unbowed. It's the left-wing party, which is part of the bloc that has the largest number of seats in the National Assembly, and it was the first to declare that they would table a no-confidence motion. I asked her what her party hoped to achieve.
These are the last moments, the last hours of Barnier and his government, because he decided to use the 49.3 article of the Constitution, which, allows him to force the budget he had planned. And he did so because he has no majority in the National Assembly to pass his bill. This government, this right-wing government, is not a reflection of the result of the elections. So this government is illegitimate.
But the trouble is, I suppose, is that election did not produce a conclusive result. Your bloc in Parliament may be the biggest, but it is far short of a majority. And whatever comes out next, if there is a change of government as looks likely, it will be faced with that same arithmetic in Parliament, won't it? It will still require some form of compromise to pass a budget.
A short majority is still a majority. And until 2024...
It's not a majority. Sorry, just to be clear, it's not a majority, is it? It's the biggest of the minorities. Well, it's not a majority in Parliament.
From 2022 to 2024, Macron's groups in the National Assembly were a relative small majority, and it did not prevent them from applying their politics. So why did the rule change now? This is a democratic issue.
Well, they were able to get things through because there are enough MPs who would support, and that's not the case now.
Because they used the 49.3 article a lot, 24 times. There is one single person who is responsible for the political chaos and the political instability in France, which is also a crisis in the regime. It is the president of the Republic himself, Emmanuel Macron. So now he must leave, whether by our impeachment or by his resignation. There are no good solutions.
Is that your red line then? No support for any new government unless the president steps down, which obviously will trigger a whole new set of circumstances.
Our position hasn't changed since July the 7th. Since the New Popular Front won the snap elections, there should be a government from the New Popular Front in France. But Macron decided he would not do such a thing. So this is the problem.
So now, if he chooses someone from your party to lead the next government, is that a potential way forward?
We had a candidate, actually, who was Lucie Castet. She was the candidate for the whole New Popular Front parties, but Emmanuel Macron decided not to appoint her. So he was the one to disregard, ignore not only the voice of the people, but the usual traditional political rules and constitutional rules. So now this is enough. I mean, Barnier will be dismissed on Wednesday, and Macron must leave after him, because this is the only solution to this deep political crisis.
It's also an economic crisis, though, isn't it? I mean, yes. France doesn't have a budget. France has a huge and growing deficit. Its cost of borrowing is growing. It is an economic crisis right at the heart of Europe. What do you propose to do about that as the largest single bloc in Parliament?
There have been 3 months of debates in Parliament, which led to the vote of many New Popular Front amendments and a new budget conform to our programme. And our budget is based on the increase in receipts rather than cuts in expenses. We are ready to govern. We would be more serious than all the governments we have had in France for years.